things do?
The ports.
Yeah,
That way we could weld up the ports and regrind them where we want them.
exactly.
Okay, what we've got going on, I haven't even told you this.
That or we recast our own
I'm not
zones.
going to make this official yet, but it might be after this little video. I got a company boring them. They're 66 millimeter, or I mean 66 cc. I can still plate them, and I got this one being made, and the rod is 1010. We're going to turn them 12,000 grams.
I talked to, I ran across a guy the other day. They're doing the 1010 cylinders and stuff like that, and I screenshotted his information because he was talking about, you know, boring them, re-nick them, and getting a piston for them and stuff. And I was like, that's good to know.
We found out the bearings. We done bearing tests on them. Their stock bearings aren't good enough. When we go to the road,
The rod bearings.
the rod or the crate bearings are not good enough. Okay.
I'm turning over 12,000 now.
Okay. What we got going on, people, is you got Ironhorse, you got the bellhopper, and you got Bucket standing at a triangle. Now, what I want you to know is just guess what we're talking about.
It was pizza, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's pizza.
Is it pizza?
Yeah, I think it was pizza.
Oh yeah. We wasn't talking no pizza, was we?
No.
But it's Saw Talk. We were gonna make a little more videos. We're making a lot. One thing to other. You'll probably see this one on Bucket's channel. We're glad to help.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I'm so glad to meet you in person.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Because talking on the phone, we spent,
It ain't the same as it.
well, that one night, what, was almost 4.5 hours?
Yeah. Okay, and they'll do that for a few minutes, and that's just what they'll do. Okay.
Go to this man's channel if you don't know who he is. I'm interrupting you right now.
No.
This character, I found him on YouTube. I just want to, just quickly before we get going. He's a logger. He's a logger. He's been on a power saw a long time, and it looks like he's going to take a second run at the cat, crazy bastard. But he's a knowledgeable man on saw builds. I've had some of the best saw builders in our country build me saws for years and years, and he was kind enough to open his heart and his workmanship to me and send me stuff where I'm at, and I've been impressed. I've been very impressed. So that's my spiel on Ironhorse. Go to his channel. If you want to learn about porting the men's, I think he's the only man who shows how to port a freaking cylinder on YouTube. Again, like I spoke about earlier, people are afraid to show their stuff because they think that maybe Ironhorse might build a saw and take business from them. That's craziness. Okay, I'm done.
This is a velocity port work on this. We know we can get RPMs out of this. It's a forged piston. They'll take more. That's why we use them in performance, you know. Now that crazy little muffler on that right there is a conglomeration. Bucket was after me 4 months. He says, Ironhorse, you need a muffler. You need a muffler. I said, man, I ain't a muffler guy. Well, he says, we need something that works like them bear claw mufflers. Well, I seen them in one thing, the other. I said, I don't know what to do. I says, it's got I says, East Coast, we can't have nothing sticking out. I says, there's so much bell. I says, you'll cave in. You look around and you tell an East Coast logger saw that front of that muffler's caved right in. Okay, so Bucket says, this is what I know makes it work. He says, is there a way you can work around that? I got thinking, I said, no, we can do the same thing different. This is the second one that I built. The first one was so loud, it just rattled your teeth. That muffler was just too much. It pulled. So we added another inch to it. This one's a little quieter. I'd like to get it. I like quiet saws, you know. I want to hear them run. But this one's a little nicer. I don't think you'd want to be too close to it without earplugs. I'll tell you that right now. Because it's not what you're hearing that hurts you. It's what you can't hear, this high frequency. That's what hurts your ears. But this little saw right now, just for the show and just for the fun of it and because we can, we're running a 10 octane fuel in it with nitro. Okay.
I didn't know that. I'm not running.
It's not enough nitro to just really throw it way over the top. It's just enough to make it smell good. It's 2%. You can go a lot further, okay? But then you got to have that saw real hot or it won't start. Nitro doesn't burn. Under compression, it releases large amounts of oxygen. Nitrous oxide does the same thing. We couldn't get the tank on it, but we had it on the cart. We was figuring it out, all right?
Of course you did.
Yeah, so there you go. But it's a logging saw. Whoever gets this is not going to get something insane. Unless you got just a tiny little saw, then you're going to think it's pretty wild. But this is what loggers use. This is what you need for logging. It's no more.
Did you say that this is on the Raffle?
This is a Raffle.
I've run it. I've already run it.
We have this tuned down right now. I've kept it tuned low. It's like when we put that muffler on, this is the first muffler that I had to make a radical adjustment. That tells me that muffler's pulling air. Okay? Buckin was trying to tell me, it pulls, you'll know it pulls. Makes it louder.
You should have seen him. He sent me a little video. His boy is always, Colin's doing his video working at. And he made it. I said one more time, we shoot back and forth on WhatsApp. I said, you see what I mean with this? Just use this and that and try this. He goes, yeah, okay, and he did. He goes, how about this? I said, that sounds great, give that a shot. Oh, a couple hours later, there he is looking into the camera doing another video, and he was almost like whoever, because he's, the muffler thing for him, he'll tell you himself, is through the years he's tried all kind of stuff, and just wasn't his gig, in a sense. The mufflers, you know, throw a couple of ears on, everybody cracks a couple of these little ears on, that's great, fine and dandy. Well, that's a big canister. It's a big canister in there. Trust me, I've run all kinds of different mufflers through the years. And them crazy ones that I run, Bear Claws mufflers, they're there everywhere. And I mean, the power is there everywhere. When you're limbing, we walk on top of our logs where we're from. We don't walk along beside them. We walk along and we limb. And when you're bent over, like stooping for the human being is one of the toughest things to do for a human being. You can crack off a limb. The less time you can be like this is better. So the limbing response with these mufflers, it's like crack, crack when you hit the thing. Well, the stock saw, I find you got that little bit of boo whap, right? This isn't like that. This is like crack. So guys will say, well, what? Then you got to lose it somewhere on the bottom or the top or into it. No.
Gain everywhere.
It's there right through the whole power range. So we're not allowed to run those saws production fall. We're just not. On certain jobs you can get away with it. Private jobs. Are we ready to do this? Okay, so this is a stock and it's loud. So the children and you know, it's loud. I'm just telling you that right now.
There's earplugs on the table right over here if anybody needs it.
So it's a stock chain. This looks like hickory. Yeah, is that what this is? Yeah, that's it. Have you got a power saw here?
That's pig nut.
Pig nut.
That chain's not set up for it perfect, but it'll cut it.
No, of course. I cut this the other day, and it's. If you guys watch the channel, you know how I feel about a chain out of the box. I don't like chains out of the box. I like a chain about halfway down ground. This is skip tooth chain. You know what would be really interesting, to be honest with you, is, and I do this. These are the kind of videos I like doing on the channel. Is just run a skip tooth chain, and then take it off and throw a full house chain on. That's when you know. Okay, what cuts faster? Because everybody's heard something. Everybody thinks something. Well, I can't live there. I need to get that stuff, put it out on a table, go, okay, there's the skip tooth, boom, there's the full house. What went faster?
It's what it
It's
is.
the truth, yeah. Okay, so we'll fire this thing up. I'm just going to warm it up for a sec. Warm up your motors, whoever's running these, just warm them up. Think about that. I don't know this, but is the cylinder and the piston the same metals? Are they the same?
The cylinder parent metal is aluminum. The piston is forged aluminum, not cast.
So they're going to heat up and contract at different...
The cast pistons heat up real fast. If you wrap a saw that's cold with a cast piston in it, it'll cold seize. Because the piston got bigger than the cylinder. these saws here have an inherent thing kind of naturally built into them. A forged piston will do the same at a lesser rate, but they take more warm up. They won't actually really cut until they're hot. You're probably not going to get enough juice out of it until that's warm.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying, to crack up a saw and just wide open and start going,
You're going to kill it.
it's just not smart. It's just not smart. Just warm them up. They're going to last longer, if that makes sense. So we're just going to warm it up. And again, it is skip tooth chain. Looks like Harvey's just put a flat file across the rakers, which is smart.
Light stroke.
Yeah, which is smart. It's just going to give you that little bit more bite.
Just a little.
Yeah. When you fire up a saw and you dig into a log and you're all warmed up, and you dig the dogs in and you start laying on it hard, you know, you think you might be going faster. I think if you keep your RPMs up and don't lay on the saw so hard, go back in your footage. I just want to show you something here, okay? Stopped a couple times because we're just getting to know this saw.
That's right.
Right, we're just getting to know it. But it's got pull. It's got pull.
That was the first time I understood when we got that right. Oh, I got it. I know what pull is. Yeah. It's like when you're 17. Now I know what beer is.
So yeah, so I can't personally run stock saw anymore. I can't do it. It's like having a nice steak and then having not a good steak. I just can't. I can't fall production with anything but a ported saw now.
Yeah, I did make it.
But I just want to show you something a little different on that cut there. So you see what I mean by the RPM? Just keep it there. You may think you're going faster by, you're not. I don't think, anyways. It'll show on the
So one way you're forcing it, and the other way you're letting it cut.
Well,
Let it cut.
You're only going as fast as that freaking thing that he built's gonna let you. But now he's got a screwdriver in his hand.
This right here, they call them dogs everywhere. Pros call them dull chain overrides. Let you know that.
So I'm just saying, like, that's not the. Let the saw work. Let the saw work. It's only going as fast as what's in here. This feels really good, just straight off the hop. And I want to share with them the gurgle.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna fire it up and we're warm. I'm just gonna crack it wide open. I want you to listen. Listen to the RPM and listen to the peak of it. Okay? What's on this with a coil? Is it a 13.5 you're tapped out or no?
There is no limit.
Limit.
No limit.
Splendid. This will be fun. Here. Okay, so you heard that, right? Where it, that's not bad, eh?
Never pin them until you got to free.
I'm so glad
Adjustments
he's here.
have to be pinned when you adjust them. Do it hot, a hot saw. Don't mean hot rod, I mean it's got to be warm. Okay.
When you tune it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. You
Now-
want that thing off there? No, I guess
These
not.
are
Nope.
these saws adjust.
Hang on a sec. Let me stop you one sec.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this in the full squirt and let them hear the saw go? Ah!
We're gonna try, but let's take this off.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's just not throw it in the wood with the air filter off.
Precisely. Crack that up much at all. No. At all. So, you figured I can go a little more? So what happens is you try to do that, and because they're rubber mounted, so they're shaking all around, you try and do it right. So we're just gonna, it's not gurgle.
As long as at the top end it's not screaming, it comes up to the speed, and then it starts four-stroking a little
Okay,
bit.
I literally just, not even near a quarter turn there, just a teeny bit more. And then, that sounds like a power saw over there. Sounds like a pole lamp. Is that how you say it? Pole lamp? Poo-lamp. We call it poolin'. Poo. You know what? Poolin' had a day. They had a real good day back in the day. Poolins are rippers. They won a lot of contests, and they make a wicked motor. A wicked motor. Get. So as chain here, or there's no other chains here other than stock, right? With this length.
That's it right there.
Okay. So this is a production saw. It cuts great. That I wouldn't be running that chain. I would run full house grind, and probably be 2 seconds faster through that cut. Close
And
to it.
that stuff it would.
Yeah, close
Now,
to it.
this is pig nuts. Very hard. Most saws don't like this stuff at all. They'll burn up all.
Yeah, and
hard.
and the thing to is stock chain. It's stock chain, and actually I think we've even
We're doling that right now.
it's
You notice?
yeah, like even I think yesterday, right? Cuts nice. So when you get a sharp chain on there, it's night and day. It is. It's night and day. That's a nice build.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't. So you run that, and you go to the store and you buy one, and it goes straight from the store to the man, right? That's just what happens. So beautiful. So that's. I don't even know what the hell a raffle ticket. What are they selling raffle tickets for? Does anybody know?
$5,
$5.
Five for one.
What do you do with that?
That's a cheap saw right there, I'll tell you
Am I
that.
allowed to buy raffle tickets?
He'd probably win is the problem.
I'm just saying, you know.
That's nice.
What we should do now at this point is take a break, let Bucket do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Give it a little scrub.
In a little while, we'll play with it again. Then we'll set a chain up where everybody can watch with a hand chisel filing on a 24-inch bar,
I'd like to see that.
and then we'll see the difference.
Absolutely.
You know, because this is pretty much a stock chain with just a scrub on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Control
Buck can
chain,
get a
yeah.
little sharpened job on it. We got some nice files over there to use.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And I know there's a lot more going on, a lot more events and one thing and the other, but he puts on a show. I'm sorry. Half of it's a saw, but 70%'s him. He's got this.
I had a question. When is it advantageous to have a skip chain?
Well, in
Low power,
not
big
here.
wood.
that is skip there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when is that? You said full house would make it quicker and better for this particular
Power.
application.
When you don't have a lot of power,
Yeah.
skip is nice. When you're in big wood,
Yeah.
right, and you got to cut big wood, skip is I find is that. Well, yeah, because it takes more power to pull a full house chain. But when you're in the right, like here, if we threw on a full house chain on this, just boom, 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 it would cut faster. It would cut faster.
We need an 8-tooth rim sprocket. Has anybody got one with them? I got one. Can we borrow it?
What's on there?
7.
Oh yeah, okay.
The small stuff you got here at 8-tooth.
But that's hard wood. Like it's it's
This
harder
is
than
the
what,
density's unreal.
you know. Yeah, I mean it's hard wood. You